Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the Coach Marchman Show. We're at the playoff preview this week. Coach, first of all, congratulations, region champions again.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice job, Coach.
Appreciate it, man. It never gets old hearing that. So, feel very fortunate, very blessed, and I'm just happy my team's played well.
It was a tough week last week, but y'all got it done. I got to ask you before we get too far away from congratulating you on the region championship. Which way are we going with the signs? Are we going to continue to come to the baseline, or are we going the other way now?
Let's not put the cart before the horse. We'll worry about all that if we get an opportunity to come up with that decision.
It's a great problem to have, isn't it?
Yeah.
Congratulations on that. Hey, I want to head on down the list here. Sammy can't make it today. He has to work. So, but he sent us some questions. Wanted to go over it with you. First off, a big week last week, playing 6 games, including that huge doubleheader at Lanier, and then another one at Eccles at home on senior night. We won all 6. The pitching staff gave up only 21 runs in those 6 games. How proud of you are of the staff right now after last week?
Well, 21's too many. To be honest with you, I'm not quite sure what happened, but we had some miscues with our performance on the mound last week. We were fortunate enough that the offense could bail us out, which is what happened. We have to do a better job of keeping so many base runners, of limiting so many base runners. We just, I don't know if it was all those games. I mean, it was a lot of pressure in Lanier because they're a good team and some pressure there to win at their place. But we didn't really pitch that well, especially Lanier game. We got a great pitcher performance on Monday from Chase, and then we pitched pretty well Tuesday. I believe that was versus Eccles, and then Wednesday, a couple 3-hour games. We didn't command well. We didn't change speeds well. We didn't get ahead in the count. We just gave them too many opportunities, and we were fortunate that our offense was able to rise to the occasion and score enough runs to help us win.
The offense definitely rose to the occasion, especially late in that game. It was, I think, 6 innings we fell behind by 4. Mm-hmm. And I made the comment on the air that we're going to find out what kind of heart we have now, and we did. The boys came back at that at-bat and not only tied it, well, they did tie it, forced overtime or forced extra innings,
yeah.
And then win it by 2. I mean, just wow. Or win it by 1.
Yeah, it was a wild game, and even I was proud of them, because we fell behind because we just put too many people on base. We didn't make them earn it, and then they got the big grand slam, and the momentum just switches right then. It goes from a 4-4 game to an 8-4 game, just like that. Then I think the next inning we couldn't get anything done, and we came in the 7th, and we were able to tie it up. And then in the 8th, we were able to push ahead by 2 runs, and then in the bottom of the 8th, we didn't slam the door. We still kind of gave them opportunities. They scored a run in the 8th. Mm-hmm. They had a couple runners on base in the 8th, and we just had a hard time shutting the door. But finally, we did get it done, and in the end, that's what you want to do. You want to get the win. I'd have liked to have played better that whole day. We just didn't play our best that day, and we were very, very fortunate, very lucky to come out of there with the win. And it's always cool to have an undefeated region schedule, undefeated region season, and so I'm very proud of them for that.
A game like that, or the game 1 over at Lanier, you can never get comfortable. What was your mindset going into the 8th inning? Take us through that. We're tied up, and then we get a couple of runs ahead. But you really can't relax at that point, can you?
Well, no, because like I said before, they're a good team, and they hit it very well. They hit the ball well, and I was just waiting for us to just kind of turn it on. I was waiting for someone. We probably used 6 or 7 pitchers, that day, and pitching was at a premium because we had so many games last week. So I was just waiting on somebody to come in and just slam the door. And finally, Brantley got us through there at the end. But we got to do better on the mound. We have to do better than that. But like I said, I was proud of us for trying to find a way to win, and we did. And luckily, we scored enough to get out of there.
Then you come back. We win the second game pretty handily. I think both units put everything into that game 1, and it seemed like we kind of took control in game 2, took care of business there.
Well, even in game 2, Ethan hits the grand slam. Puts us up like 8-2 or something like that, or and then instead of just pressing forward, we kind of like eased off a little bit and then just didn't score for a couple innings, and then they got 4 and we got 10. We just couldn't put it away. We just too many hiccups. We just couldn't put it away. So I'm glad we got the win, and like I said, offense came through for us when the pitching didn't. So that was good.
Then obviously no game Turner. They decided not to play.
Right.
Then Friday you come back, senior night. Good crowd in here for senior night. We honored 6 seniors, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And take us through that Friday night with senior night and everything. I know you've done a bunch of them over the years.
Sure. Yeah. Well, it's great to have senior night. To bring the parents on the field and to have the players, have it read out. The things that they're going to miss about Charlton County baseball and what it's meant to them and all those type of things, and also to hear about whatever superlatives they've gotten throughout their time here at Charlton County High School. But we're blessed to have those seniors that we have, a bunch of great guys, and I'm going to miss them. And I'm glad we can just have a night like that for them. And, our seniors are Clayton Lawrence, Isaiah Baker, Cole Crawford, Hayes Johnson, Garrett Vickers, and Colton Cruz. And we're going to miss every one of those guys.
I'm looking forward to taking them boys. Hopefully we get all the way through, but I know you're watching for tomorrow.
Tomorrow, right.
You're not looking ahead at all. But I wanted to ask you about that, though, because I've talked to – CSN, we're good for tomorrow. Well, we're always good anyway, but we're good on YouTube tomorrow.
Okay.
And for our out-of-town and at-work people. But I wanted to ask you, how big is that to get home field advantage, have this thing here?
That's everything.
Every time, it's everything, isn't it?
It's everything, right?
Yeah.
It means, think about how we played at Lanier, It's a tough place to play, and we just didn't play our best. And it just seems like when you're at home, you got to protect your home field. You got to make your community proud, and having home field advantage is very important. It's very important for us and for everybody, I think. But we love to play here, and we like for people to come and see our place. So I'm thankful that we have that home field advantage.
Oh yeah, now tomorrow will be 4:30 and 6:30, correct?
I think it's 4 and 6.
4? 4 and 6?
Yeah.
Okay. And go fan for tickets because
Right.
GHSA event, obviously.
Right.
So no cash at the gate, but
Nope.
they'll be able to get in at the gate with Go Fan
Sure.
if they don't do it at home or whatever.
Right. Yep.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Montgomery County, the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like we've been facing Montgomery in almost every sport here lately.
Yeah.
But Montgomery County, first round. What do you know about the Eagles?
Well, playoff baseball is, that's the goal for every team is to play into May, and if they've earned a spot in, then you got to think of them as the best team you're going to play, because now it's not just play in your schedule. Now it's play to play again.
Right.
It's win or go home. So we're gonna come out tomorrow with every bit of intensity as if it's the number one team in the state. So we just have to be prepared and come into that game with the right focus so we can play our best game against Montgomery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 'cause Montgomery, they're gonna come to play.
They are.
And
That's
I'm sure they're pumped about being the 4 seed and getting in the dance. So.
Playoff baseball, so
No doubt. And anything can happen. We've seen it.
Yep, you can't take anybody lightly. So we won't. We will definitely we'll come to play our best.
Do we know our starters yet, or are you going to wait till tomorrow for that?
Cole Crawford's going to start game 1, and Ethan Crawford's going to start game 2.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So how's Sammy wanted me to ask you? We're going to skip down a little bit. He wanted me to ask you about the status on Cruz's shoulder. Where are we at on that?
So Colton threw today. We plan on him playing first base tomorrow. So he's throwing. We're not even considering him for pitching right now. We would love to have him, of course. He would definitely be throwing one of those games tomorrow if we did. But he is going to be able to play defense, so he will be in the lineup.
Yeah.
So that's good. He threw today, and things felt pretty good. So, we just got to get that thing stronger and get it back into shape.
Get back into the rhythm and everything.
Yep.
And that's after that Friday night when he just walked off the mound. It's actually pretty positive news.
That was great news.
That he's already back in
Sure.
the lineup.
That's right. Great news. Yeah.
Because that was a huge scare that night.
Sure.
You don't see too many players just take themselves out like that.
That's right. he bothered it, and we rested it for I think 5 or 6 days, and so he's good to throw just as long as he don't have any pain. He didn't have any pain today, so we're going to test it out tomorrow and see how it goes.
On the something I did over the weekend, I had a little fun with it. I hope you don't mind. At the bottom of your schedule, at the bottom of the Indians baseball schedule, is a list of accomplishments for you guys over the last decade
Sure.
and plus years.
Yeah.
So I was sitting around, we talked about it a little bit on the game Friday night, and I brought it up to Sam because I was looking at the schedule.
Yeah.
I said, man, wouldn't that be an awesome tournament? So I got to ask you, Coach, you told me pre-show that you looked at my brackets.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Who wins out, Coach? I'll put you on the spot.
I'll tell you, it's hard to pick against the state championship team, right? So there's 3 of those, state championships.
There's 3 of those.
It's hard to decide which one of those would beat another one. Then you also have I think it was the 2012 runner-up team.
Yeah, 2 years of solid runner-up teams.
So, that 2012 runner-up team, it was before the public-private split. So that team had to go through everybody, private and public.
Right.
And then we lost to Providence, which was a private school in the state championship series. So you got to respect that team just for what they did, and it's hard to say, man.
It's tough, man. It's tough.
I don't know, and I don't want to make any of the players mad if I pick one over the other. So, but it's definitely an interesting debate to have, to talk about which team would beat who would beat who, which pitching staff's better, who's got the better leadoff batter, who's got the better 4-hole. It's who. I
had some fun with it.
It's a cool bracket, yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it because I'm going down this thing and I'm filling out this bracket and I'm like, my goodness,
it's tough.
There's not a bad team in this in the last decade. I mean, nobody's a pushover.
Yeah.
If you were able to do that in their prime,
Sure.
And so I had some fun with that. I did have some feedback on that too. The younger guys were leaning toward the 23 team, and the older guys, your old crew, they said 2000. One of them, I think, Will Galvin. Will Galvin said it'll be between the 2013 and the 2014 team in the final.
Yeah.
So, so we had a good time with that.
Yeah.
Well, as far as fans tomorrow, we already talked about Go Fan and everything. What else do we need to be prepared for here with the Eagles tomorrow?
Well, I'll tell you one thing we did. We had our region meeting today, and our superlatives were determined from our region, and some of the accomplishments that our players made from when you have the region meeting, all the coaches talk about the players that they've seen, and you determine who your best team, your best players in the region are, from player of the year to first team all region, second team all region, honorable mention, things like that.
Okay, so you have all that now.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool. Go ahead,
yeah.
Coach.
So for the region 2, which is probably the most distinguished honor, is the player of the year, and that's Cole Crawford. So Cole Crawford was our region 2 player of the year. Our offensive player of the year was David Walters. The region 2 defensive player of the year was Griffin Thomas. The region 2 freshman of the year was Ethan Crawford. The first team guys who were selected as first team were Isaiah Baker, Eli Hobbs, Colton Cruz, and Hayes Johnson. And second team as a pitcher was Chase Roden, and honorable mention as a pitcher was Garrett Vickers. So we had a whole bunch of people recognized by the other coaches in our region. I'm super proud of that, proud of those guys. And I think for Cole specifically, being acknowledged as a player of the year, I think that's a goal he kind of had going into the season. And I love it when we can when our players can set goals and reach them, and we can do it as a team and things like that. So very proud of him for that. And David Walters is the offensive player of the year, considering
who was coach?
David Walters.
Okay.
Considering he didn't even start until halfway through the season last year. And now this year he's been recognized as the offensive player of the year. All those guys, I'm very, very proud of them. Griffin Thomas, defensive player of the year. He plays shortstop, which is a premium position. It's a very difficult position, and I think he's made 2 errors all season. So just really proud of those guys. Ethan Crawford, of course, he is the freshman of the year, and he leads our team in wins. So as a freshman, he has 7 wins. He has the most wins on the team. So those guys did a great job. And I was telling those guys earlier, without these other people chipping in offensively, like Hayes, who he's been huge for us this year. He didn't get a lot of at bats last year, but this year he's been doing the job. Isaiah Baker was hurt most of the season last year. He didn't get a lot of at bats last year. First teamer. Garrett Vickers. I don't know if Garrett started a game last year, and yet, here he's been recognized as a honorable mention.
That's fantastic.
So these guys really stepped up and they filled holes that we needed to plug, and they did a great job, and they've helped put us in the situation we're in now, so that we can have home field advantage and host some playoffs tomorrow. So I'm super proud of these guys. And I'm glad that the other coaches recognize them as well. And, of course, we'll have this information. We'll put it in the paper, and we'll have it on our social media as well, so people can take a look at it, along with the whole list with everybody else, all the other players from other teams as well. So I'll have that whole list. I'll post that tomorrow.
All right, cool. If you don't mind, send that to us, and we get that up on our CSN page.
Yeah.
Now, I guess you've heard about my Facebook page. We've had to read it. Facebook took me down for sharing our own game links.
Oh, wow.
So I've had to rebuild everything. So the CSN business page, I'm not using that anymore. We're just on our group page now, just for the fans at home, so they'll know. So if they're trying to message me on a Facebook business page for any type of sponsorship or anything, I can't see that anymore, folks. So you need to message us on a group page or my personal page.
Okay.
So I wanted to get that out there.
All right, that's good.
Said I violated community standards sharing Indian baseball game links. I have no idea.
Somebody call somebody.
It makes no sense at all, because we have competitors all around me share their links all the time. They have no problem.
That's weird.
It's weird, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to hit on, Coach, before we head out?
No, man, I'm just excited that the playoffs are here, and I'm proud of the team for that. That gauntlet we had last week. 7 games in a week.
What a week.
What a week. But what it did was it just required other people to step into roles and chip in ways that they hadn't had to before, but they had to, and they did.
Yeah.
And I was excited about the challenge of playing all those games in the week to see how we do and get through it.
Especially, I didn't mean to interrupt you, I'm sorry. Especially the younger pitchers with all those games. Your younger guys stepped up there.
I mean, Brody Baker got his first start of his career, and pitched 6 innings for us. Chase Roden got 2 starts in that week.
Yeah, I thought he had an incredible last week on the mound.
He had a great week, and he stepped up in a big spot, and that's what we tell him to do. When you get your opportunity, you need to take advantage of it, perform, and that'll lead to more opportunities. And that's exactly what those guys have done. They've showed us that they can do it when it counts, and so they're going to get more opportunities because of it. So very, very proud of everybody. We just finally came through, and this is probably the best single season, regular season record. Like it seems like we can't make more history, but somehow these guys have found a way to. I think it's 28-1 is our record now.
What was your final record, regular season?
When?
This year.
28-1.
I'm looking.
Yeah.
I'm checking, Coach.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I mean, you're going to be hard pressed to beat that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you got to go undefeated for a regular season.
Tough.
That's the only way you can beat it. So.
What a fantastic season. And I want to thank you, as always, man, for having us along. I mean, you guys are the reason CSN is what it is. Indians baseball. We got cranked up with y'all that year back in 2012.
Yep.
And it just took off. And that's all because of you guys.
Well.
And, man, I've loved the ride. It's been a fantastic ride, and I hope we continue to do it.
Thank you. I think it's great for the players, for the community, even for myself. Like, after the game, I can go back and watch it, and from a different perspective with a cooler head, and not being in the live action, and it's really helped me me evaluate the team and even other teams that we play. So it's very fortunate. We're very fortunate to have you and CSN, and I think it's just a great resource.
Oh, I'm excited, and I'm not putting anything in the future, but CSN has been tapped to carry the state championships again for Class A Division 2 and 2-1 at Statesboro again.
That's great.
So I'm excited about that, man.
Awesome.
I'm excited.
Maybe we can get there. It'd be awesome if we can be there again, man. I don't know, but we got a lot of work to do. We got to take care of business tomorrow and go from there.
All right, Coach. We're going to do one step at a time, right?
That's exactly right.
We'll see you tomorrow. Montgomery County comes to town 4 and 6.
4 o'clock, that's right.
4 o'clock. So y'all get here early and get these seats. Let's pack it out.
Come hungry, buy some stuff from the concession stand.
Oh, no doubt about it. Get my groceries.
That's right.
Have a great evening, everybody. Thank you for watching the Coach Marchman Show. Thank you,
All right.
Coach.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate you, man.
Yep.